So I get asked this question quite a bit, and it's how do you get someone to admit that they're using drugs or alcohol, especially when you know and they are just consistently lying to you all the time. And it's like, I just want you to be honest. How do we get them to admit it? And this is a great question. And I'm going to, I'm not going to say that I have the answer, but I'll give you a different point of view. And it comes back to expectations. What do we expect to get from this answer? So let's propose it and say, okay, you've confronted someone, you know they're probably going to lie to you when you ask them if they're using drugs. The other side of it is if they actually admit to you that they are using drugs, what's the first thing that you're going to probably want to do? Is try to get them off drugs. It's try to get them to stop using. It's try to get them to get help. It's trying to get them to change. It's trying to get them to do all of the things that they don't want to do. So where is their incentive, their motivation to be honest in answering yes? Also, it may just be that they don't really want to look at themselves. Maybe they don't really feel like they have a problem. Even if they're lying and they know they're lying and they're using drugs, maybe it's they don't feel like they have a problem. But what are the expectations that you have? And sometimes we can have unrealistic expectations. And it's like we ask these questions hoping that they are honest with us and then getting upset when they aren't. But we kind of already set ourselves up for failure in asking them that question to begin with, because we know that they're not going to be honest with us. So we can ask them 1,000 times, and 1,000 times they're probably going to lie to our faces because they're not willing to change. I'm not saying don't ask them the question, because the truth is there was a point in my own journey where, I remember the last day using, my mom calls me, and I had been lying and lying and lying and lying. But on this day, she calls me, she asked me if I was using drugs, and there was a pause. Which way was I going to go in that moment? Which answer was I going to say? Was I going to say no, even though I already knew that she knew that I had been using? Or was I going to say yes and choose life? And the yes came from my willingness to actually want to go get help. My yes came from finally being willing to change something and being honest about that, because I was ready to make those changes. Had I had said no, yes, it would have been a lie, but it would have been a lie based in, she already knew the answer, but it would have told even me, and it told, the universe, and it would have told her where I was at, that I wasn't actually ready to change yet. So instead of looking at it like they're lying to you, look at it as a way of them saying they're not ready. And you may not like that, but until they're ready, there's nothing that you can do. And so maybe going into it with a different set of expectations may actually make you not be so reactive and angry and hurt and all of that stuff, because it's not personal. They're not lying to you to piss you off. They're lying to you because they're telling you they're not ready. And maybe one day that answer will change. Let's hope that answer changes. So it's not that you don't keep asking the questions. It's what are you expecting in return? How do you set yourself up for success? How do you set yourself up to be able to be supportive and be there and not take that answer personally when they do, because they'll lie right to your face. Even though you know that they are telling you a bull-faced lie. They know it. You know it. So it's like changing that perspective may actually help you moving forward and feeling better and not copying those resentments, because resentments are basically setting up unrealistic expectations and expecting them to be honest with you, knowing how you're going to respond. It's an unrealistic expectation. So I hope this was helpful. That may not be the answer that you wanted, but I hope it was helpful anyway, in at least allowing you the freedom to respond a little bit differently and have a little bit of a different set of expectations that makes you feel a little bit better, without the anger and the resentment and, the upsetness of that aspect of them lying to you. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, and please feel free to get in touch with me.